On today's Toy Spot, we're going to be looking at the San Diego Comic-Con International 2009 exclusive, the G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra. We're going to be looking at the Clan McCullen. We're going to be looking at Destro. And I said McClellan, it's actually McCullen. This is a Comic-Con exclusive. This is a figure that was released exclusively through the convention and contained both the original McCullen, which we'll get into, as well as the modern, the Destro McCullen figures. But before we actually do anything else, before we actually get into that, what we'll do is we'll look at the actual box, because there really is a lot going on in this box. We've got a nice picture on the front here. I don't know if this is the official McCullen crest, but it looks kind of cool. And down below you can see Cobra Office of Propaganda, Springfield, approved. On the side there we've got the crest once again. On the back, same image as the front. And then finally, at the top there, G.I. Joe The Rise of Cobra. And it unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but there is a lot more packaging than just that. So we'll actually slide this out. And this is I always have to say that the Comic-Con exclusives, they really go all out for. What we have here is a similar package to the one on the outer card, the outer box, but they've actually got this more like a book, which is so nice. On the back, we've got evidence, case number 000417-R, item number 1005-D, McCullen Clan Family History. And they've got it looking like a book. I think it looks really cool just on its own, just like that. But you open it up. I'm not going to go through all of this, but it basically gives you a family tree to all the McCullen clan. So we've got James McCullen the First, 1413 to 1465. He's the clan chief, named for King James, first reigning king of Scotland. When he was born, supplied yew wood for longbows to the British. And then finally, down at the bottom, James McCullen 13th, 1704 to 1728. On the other side of the book, got James McCullen 14th, 1725 to 1806, and then at the very bottom, we got James McCullen 24th, 1973 to the present time. He's Clan Chief, 1993 to the present time. Designed and implemented projected force handheld weaponry, advanced body armor, and troop conditioning procedures. Developed advanced nanomite technology. And then we've got all the nice little schematics here of all the weapons and vehicles that James McCullen designed. Very cool. And that's not enough. If you open up the book, the actual book, it's on a magnetic seal here. You open it up, and inside we've got James McCullen, I guess the 9th, and then we've got James McCullen the present, James McCullen, which I guess would be James McCullen 24. I don't know why I have such a tough time reading Roman numerals sometimes. I just don't know why. But that's not enough either. You can actually take the card. I'm going to try to turn this around so you can see it. You can actually take these individual cards and slide them out. And we'll put the book to the side. And what you've got on the inside is the individual carded Destros, or at least the James McCullens. Very cool. I'll take one of these out because the packaging I think is the exact same on both of them. And it says, like his ancestors, James McCullen the 24th is a brilliant designer of military weapons using cutting-edge technology that advances the art of warfare. McCullen's egotistical arrogance comes from the knowledge that he has the intelligence, wealth, and power to shape world events according to his personal design. When his burned face is repaired with an injection of nanomites, the microscopic machines change his skin into a silver mask that eerily, it's the way this font is, that L looks like an F, eerily resembles the iron mask worn by his ancestor James McCullen the Ninth. So there you go. So that is packaging on the two figures. You know what, I'll read the back on this one too, because this is kind of interesting too. In 1641, James McCullen the Ninth was captured and punished by the French for selling arms to the enemies of King Louis the 13th, even though he had also sold weapons to the French. The proud, arrogant McCullen scorned his captors for the hypocrisy of their politics and the narrow scope of their comprehension. For his punishment, his face was covered with a red-hot iron mask. Rather than a reminder of his dishonor, his mask has become a treasured symbol of the power wielded by the clan McCullen. So that in itself is kind of neat. And there we have the packaging on the front of both McCullens. Alright, so what we're going to do is going to get these guys opened up, and we will have a look at both James McCullen the Ninth as well as James McCullen the 24th. So stay tuned, guys. There is so much more to come. Stay tuned. Wow, you wouldn't believe how many accessories and things there were in this set for me to actually take out of the package. But now these guys are actually out of the package. Let's get a look at the two McCullens. First, I think chronologically wise, we should start at James McCullen the Ninth. I've actually got him on his display stand, and for the purpose of this, he's going to actually help my review quite well, because he's got the name on his display stand. An easy way for me to remember the Roman numeral here. Pretty nice look on James McCullen the Ninth. You see he's got a very well sculpted suit of armor here. Very, very cool. He has several accessories. I'm going to say the most disappointing accessory, I'll just put him down here for a second here. His most disappointing accessory, I think, is this right here. It's supposed to be a flag of the McCullen crest. Now, as you can see, though, they've got holes on the side of the flag, and they've actually got these little tiny, I don't even want to say they're pegs, they're almost like little dots. And the idea is you're supposed to be able to peg the flag onto it. Maybe I'll do better than I did before. It doesn't really hold the flag very well at all. I mean, if anything, they should have actually just had a clip that you could slide the flag into. But if you were to successfully get it on, you would essentially get a McCullen flag, which is alright. I mean, it's just basic cardboard. There's really not a lot to it. I almost prefer the spear more than anything else. But he does come with that. He does come with a sword. And we'll try to put him, we'll actually try to have him holding his sword so you guys can see it. There you go. And he's also got a gun, a musket. Is that what it is? A musket. Get the lighting better on here so you guys can see it. For how small it is pretty nicely detailed. There doesn't seem to be a section on him where you can actually hold either the sword or the musket. But it's nice that they have those accessories. He also does have, I think what makes the most sense, he has his iron mask, which, unlike the movie, actually doesn't open up. It's just one solid piece. So you can't actually do anything with it. But you can put it on McCullen the 5th here. And you've got a very cool looking James McCullen with his iron mask on. Very nice. In the way of his articulation, I'll just get the helmet off here so you guys... there we go. In the way of his articulation, he has the ball-jointed head. He has the ball-jointed shoulders, although you can't move it very easily just because of the way these shoulder pads are. They're a bit in the way. But you can rotate the forearm, you can bend at the elbow, you can rotate the wrist. Despite the fact that he does have this armor on, you can still surprisingly rotate him at the waist, which I'm very surprised with. Take him off the display stand. And you can kind of slightly move the legs, not really by a lot just because of this skirt, but you can bend the knees. And you can also bend the feet, and you can rotate them as well. Now I think for the sake of this review, I'm going to actually rate these individually, and I'll rate McCullen the 9th here first. I don't honestly say he is the reason to pick up this set. I'll get into the reason why in a minute. But I would say the armor and everything else on him is really, really nice. I don't know where you would display him, because, you know, he is out of the timeline of the G.I. Joe movie. He is, you know, from the past. But he is a nice looking figure. For that reason, I would give him a 7. I would give him a 7. So that is James McCullen, the 9th. And what we'll do is we'll get him on his peg. I find the problem with some of these G.I. Joes, especially the Rise of Cobra ones, is that they don't stand on their stands very well. I always find the holes on the bottom of their feet to be smaller than the actual peg holes are. There we go. So we'll get James McCullen the 9th on his display stand, and we'll look at what I think is the real reason to get this set, and that is James McCullen the 24th. It is a real shame that this figure, the only way to get this particular figure is to get this 2-pack. The face looks very cool, and it looks very, very much like the actor. As you can see, he's got his suit on, a nice detailing in the suit. He's even got the vest as well as the jacket. Take him off his display stand for a second. You can see James McCullen the 24th. And put that aside. He has several accessories. Several. He has 2 guns, which are the exact same ones. They've given it a really nice chrome to it. He also has a smaller gun that's in that chrome. This gun was released several times with the Rise of Cobra figures. I think Baroness had one. I think Destro. Actually, I think the majority of them, the villains, at least the Cobras, had this smaller gun. Of course, it wasn't in this chrome, this really nice chrome. It was just a matte black, but they've included it with Destro here. You also get a smaller handgun also. And you get, I want to think of this as the actual nanomite injector gun. It probably isn't, but it looks a lot like it. You get that as well. Oh, there's more. You get a briefcase, a Mars briefcase, which actually, if I can get my finger in there, I had this open earlier. I don't know why it's giving me problems now. You actually open it up and you'll see all the little accessories inside. You'll also see that there's a little spot here that you can take the gun and clip it into place. So now you can have his gun concealed. Really, really nice briefcase. Lastly, I think the best feature, the best accessory for McCullen the 24th here, is you actually get the more, I guess, recognizable chromed Destro face. It's not quite this shiny in the movie. In the movie, it's more like a shiny almost like a gunmetal color. It's not quite this really shiny chrome, but you can take his head off. Take his head off, there we go. And you can put the Destro head on. Not very easy, it seems. It's probably because of the first time I've done this. There we go. And you can give him the Destro face. What have you done to me? You know, I gotta say, this mask looks good on the figure, and it's definitely an improvement from the Destro figure we got from the retail release of these figures. But really, honestly, I'm the type that I'd prefer this figure. And geez, this is hard head to get off here. I prefer the human face of McCullen. I think that, I mean, really, if I'm going to have that on display, I prefer to have it with this face instead of the Destro head. That's really just a matter of preference, because he's really only Destro. He's only Destro for like the last, what, 5 minutes of the movie, for as long as we see Cobra Commander in his outfit. Now, in the way of his articulation, he has the full articulated head. He has the ball-jointed shoulders. You can rotate the forearm. You can bend at the elbow, rotate at the hand. You can rotate the waist, bend the leg in and out, back and forth. You can bend the knee. You can rotate the leg as well. You can bend the feet, and you can, I was going to say you can rotate them as well. Now this Destro figure, unlike the James McCullen the 9th, the 24th, however, I'm going to give a 9 to. This is a great figure. This is a great figure. And the sad part in all of this is the fact that the only way you could get this guy is to get this set from Comic-Con. And really, this guy should have been released retail-wise as well. Because, I mean, this guy is nice. He is really, really nice. It almost makes sense to if you could, to pick up 2 of them so that you can actually have one with the Destro head and then one without the head. But for how expensive these sets were, I actually got this set on Big Bad Toy Store. I think they were clearing them out, and I got it for about $20, but originally the price tag on these were about $45. At least to find them on eBay. Not necessarily worth that if you ask me. Oh, you can also undo his jacket. Not really worth it if you ask me, but this guy right here is the reason to get this set. And it's just a shame that they didn't release this guy in retail. Curse you. Curse you. But that was a toy spot. Gonna give this guy a 9. He is really the gem of this set. But I'm gonna give... I'm going to close up this review here. A very long review, too. That was a toy spot. Today we were looking at the San Diego Comic-Con. We were looking at the James McCullen Timeline 2-pack. And it consisted of James McCullen the 9th, as well as James McCullen the 24th. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a very long review, I know. But stay tuned for any more toy spots to come. And I'll see you guys next time. Yo, Joe.